No, just get me that email and I'll,
Committee basically figures out what the value
oh, did we get started late? Oh, right.
bang that gavel.
I would have been, we've been in the room. We hadn't gotten back to our
Meeting, I have that at 6:30. If we could please call our meeting to order. And if I could please have a motion to move to a quick executive session for the purposes of discussing the employment history of particular persons.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Don't be nervous. You don't get nervous more than anybody else.
When Mr. Church was principal, we had to continue to and if we always had to put something together, I would make them talk. I'd write everything, but you know.
Well, we'll find out.
Good evening, if we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could I please have a motion to approve our meeting minutes, regular meeting, October 11th?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments on the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I have one.
Did someone take those together?
Apparently someone needs some attention tonight. I don't have any comments.
I didn't think you would. And I feel somewhat pressured to get to the main event here, so I'm gonna go fairly quickly with my two, but I think they're big enough that I wanted to share them with you. By now, you probably have all heard the exciting news about Micron coming to Central New York. They are having an educator event tomorrow night at the On Center, Meet Micron, where it's going to be important for Homer schools over the next, you name it, 10, 12, 20 years to be involved in this process, because that is investment, the $100 billion investment over the next 20 years that Micron will be making into Central New York. They're going to need people to take some highly competitive, high-paying jobs. 50,000 jobs, they're saying total, 9,000 jobs, high-paying, high-tech jobs to work in the microchip plant in Clay. And so we'll have a lot of conversations, both at the BOCES level and independently here in Homer, about how we might support those efforts. But it's a transformative opportunity for Central New York and for our school district, for our kids, and for our families. And so I'm excited to embark on that, and obviously along the way we'll want to involve as many people as we can in that process, and I'll continue to bring information back as that plan moves forward. The second thing that I wanted to mention is that we'll be hosting in this particular room on November 1st a countywide meeting about farm to school. The Seven Valleys Health Coalition has applied for and received a grant that would, the goal being, they would oversee school districts' efforts to create an action plan to better connect school districts with our local food producing industry. And there will be a lot of tentacles that go along with that. We've invited a dozen or so folks for the initial meeting that we think will be, want to be connected to that effort. I would invite members of the board. If you wanted to attend, I can send the invitation to you. It's on November 1st at 3:30. This will be the introductory meeting where they'll talk about what we'll want to do as a school district. The goal will be to have an action plan in place to further that development of that farm to school approach by the end of the school year. So it's exciting stuff. It ties in obviously to our mission. We're an agricultural community, and this gives us an opportunity to further bolster that, develop some relationships in our community that maybe we haven't fully developed yet. Questions about either two of those? All right, so now the main event. Last week, October 17th through the 21st, was Board Recognition Week. And I have put at your place a proclamation by Governor Hochul thanking you for your service. And I say this all the time, hopefully enough. We could never thank you enough for the work that you do, but I thought the best way for us to really thank you is to put the best thing about Homer Schools in front of you, and that's our kids and our staff. So we have a whole host of people that are here to talk to you tonight and to thank you for your service. And so I haven't set this up ahead of time, but I believe, Mr. Pascarella, I'm going to start it off with you.
All right, lights.
first before I get it, because I knew I can't compete with you guys. All right, so I'm telling you that right now. But I bought somebody out of the bullpen that's really good, and that's Karen Keith. That's Mrs. Keith. Hang on, Mrs. Keith, I know you're ready. I know you're ready. But on behalf of our students and staff, I just want to take a moment just to thank you, Board of Education, on Wednesday mornings. Karen starts our mornings off, Mrs. Keith starts our mornings off with enthusiasm and spirit. You're going to see that here in a few minutes, right? But the thing is that on Wednesday mornings, we honor MVPs. Truth be told, tomorrow you will be our MVPs, right? So we'll honor you in front of our kids, announce it to our kids, that let them know that you do a great role for us and a service for us that they need to understand. So sometimes you don't get paid in compensation such as money, but you need to be paid in compensation by thank yous. So we want to thank you, and without further ado, watch this show right here.
Well, now what with that introduction, right? MVPs tomorrow, congratulations. Well, we are here to dedicate books to you, books that will be put in our library with a little placard in the front here, which mine is missing. I'm so sorry it's not there yet. I promise it will be there. And it will have all your names on it. And so I decided to pick some of the most popular books so they would be going home and parents would see them and kids would see them and you would be famous. And so I started picking, the first one I picked was thinking about our younger kids. So I was thinking about the little ones, so I went with Daniel Tiger. Daniel Tiger, if you don't know, is on PBS, and he is Mr. Rogers. He's like the little cartoon Mr. Rogers. He's so cute and adorable, and everybody loves Daniel Tiger. And this one's called Daniel Visits a Pumpkin Patch, perfect for Paul. The second book I picked was for you to be thinking about the kids who are a little bit older, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, Minecraft. If you don't know Minecraft, you've been living under a rock because Minecraft is everywhere. Am I right?
Yeah.
Say rock.
Yes.
This one is called Escape from the Nether. Minecraft flies off the shelves. It'll go out every day. And the last one I picked, you've played with them, you know them, you love them, Legos. Everybody loves Legos. And I specifically picked this one Lego book because it's called Heroes in Training, because you are our heroes. You do this without compensation and a lot of heartache. You are our heroes. And you are our heroes. Parents, teachers, kids, anyone who works to make little kids, big kids, any kids' lives better are our heroes. And the elementary school truly thanks you for being our heroes. Take a look. Here you go.
Thank you very much. I don't know, I think she's misplaced at the elementary. She should be working with an older population. Karen, thank you very much. Let's go to Mrs. Falls in the intermediate school.
So I just have a quick introduction. I have some young leaders here, and I want to tell you I'm very proud of them. We had several of our Pride Council come to us, and others joined in because they just said, what are you doing? Why can't I do that? So we have a group of ladies who also then volunteered at lunch. We had several lunch meetings to practice. The books went home to be read so that they were sure that they knew what the books were about. And it was also funny because as we were having our lunch meetings every day, other kids said, what are you doing? Can we sit with you too? So it was kind of a fun time. So a lot of kids got to hear about it and be part of our lunch meetings. So I will turn it over and they'll all introduce themselves and they're on their own. They even caught my typo in the presentation.
I'm Olivia, and we are a part of the Intermediate Pride Council. I am Brooklyn, and I like showing cows.
My name is Mira, and I like animals.
I'm Sophia, and I like ants. Our school picked We Are the Water Protectors because we learn how to keep the earth healthy, and it is important to learn about this. Water can provide for us in many different ways. The book is about a black snake that will spoil the earth. The snake is really a pipe that can spoil the water and poison the plants and animals.
The other book we picked was Don't Panic, because the book teaches you how to not panic. My friend was worried about the assembly, and I told her something from the book to use to not panic. It teaches you how to use a good mindset.
Thank you for your service to our school and helping us get good supplies and good education. Any questions?
Thank you. When the Don't Panic title came up, I thought Mr. Falls and I could use that. We could use that this week. A number of us could have used that. So
Yeah,
look
I
forward
was
to
happy
meeting.
that they read it for the presentation and already used it before we even
Nice.
spoke in the tips.
Maybe I can consult with them. All right, Mrs. Schneider, you're here with the junior high.
The junior high staff.
And Mrs. Shirtliff
Oh,
is
and
here.
Mrs. Shirtliff, yes. The junior high staff and students want to thank you for your support and everything that you do as a Board of Education. And we brought with us our student council, some of our student council representatives. Mrs. Shirtliff helped pull this all together, and we have a lovely group of students that are going to introduce themselves and then tell you about the books that were chosen.
My name is Brock Howe. I am in 8th grade. And this year's 3 books dedicated to the Homer Board of Education by the junior high students epitomize the voice that our Board of Education gives us. The voice of change, the voice of hope, and the voice of the service to our country, our community, and to our school.
Hi, I'm Bernice Greenbauer. Our first book, Let Me Play, the story of the Title IX, the law that changed the future of girls in America, by Karen Blumenthal, celebrates the voice of girls in schools everywhere on the 50th anniversary of the Title IX law that gave equal opportunity to girls in school. The changemakers behind the law created a voice for girls to play an equal role in our society, for them to make sports, for them to play sports in schools and become doctors and lawyers and to pursue their education. These are the voices of change.
Hi, my name is Patty Fall, I'm oldest. This is the second book, The One Thing We Say, by Linda Sue Park, highlights the voice of a student who thought about what they would say if an emergency happened. This novel in verse celebrates the diverse voice of middle school students. This demonstrates hope in the face of adversity. These are the voices of hope.
Hi, I'm Evie Schneider, and our final book, Becoming RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg's Journey to Justice by Debbie Levy, tells the story of one of the leading voices in our history, that of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, whose service to our country and communities can never be repaid. She listened carefully to the needs of others and worked to meet those needs despite obstacles like social norms and political influence. Like RBG, our board listens to students and members of the community and gives a voice for a positive change in equality.
I am Chanel Stage. We thank you, Board of Education members, for your ceaseless support to the voices of our students.
Thank you very much. I know a lot about development, but what are parents feeding kids between 5th grade and 6th grade? It's incredible the growth. All right, Mr. Van Etten.
I lined up a number of high school students to come out tonight, and at the last minute, they reported to me that they had a number of commitments and homework to complete. Fortunately, with energy almost as high as Mrs. Keefe and enthusiasm, Mr. Nishaka has agreed to stand and help present one of the books that he brought tonight. Now, while he may not reach Mrs. Keefe's excitement and enthusiasm for the book that he's going to present, I know he joins me with the same amount of enthusiasm and excitement and energy, more importantly, and gratitude that everybody here brought tonight to say thank you. It is something to serve your community. It is something to serve your community as a volunteer. People lose track of that as you are members of the school board. We have not tonight, and we thank you for that service. So with that, I'll do one, you'll do one. I'll bring it home.
Sounds perfect to me.
We got this. Don't panic. I read this. Mr. Zimmerman has provided 3 books to me tonight with a little bit of information. I'm going to start out with Soundings, Journeys in the Company of Whales. Doreen Cunningham's book, Soundings, is a memoir about courage and resilience of migrating whales, and one that we can all learn from as they mother, adapt, and endure while their lives are interrupted and threatened by global warming. It also is a riveting journey into the Arctic sea ice and changing world of indigenous whale hunters, where Doreen becomes immersed in the ancient values of the Inuit whale hunt. So I'll share that.
You gotta make a whale sound.
That's the best I got for you. It sounded more like an elephant. Sorry, I didn't get to the elephant. Don't bit of mystery.
There you go. So I wanted to hear at the last minute. He goes, hey, you want to read this book and tell me what everyone it's about? First, I want to thank all the board members for their service. Second, I want to talk to you about Legal Ties. Okay, Legal Ties is by Catherine Musamek, and I'm sure I said that name wrong.
Nailed it.
Nailed it?
Nailed it.
Well, with the last name like Nishatka, you tend to get names wrong, okay? This is the untold story of Mary Sears. Mary Sears was an oceanographer who was hired by the Navy. First, she got rejected. Hired by the Navy to do underwater surveillance during World War II, and she helped the Navy win in the Pacific Ocean. The nice thing with the geology and the earth science connection to it is the work that they did there was continued post-World War II to understand our oceans and our trenches and the undersea mountains. So her and her fellow scientists were instrumental in the United States' victory over Japan. There you go. Thank you guys.
Thank you. The final selection that Mr. Zimmerman has provided me with to dedicate in your honor is entitled My Name is Jason and Mine Too. It's a book of poetry by Jason Reynolds, not our wrestling coach, and art by Jason Griffin. It takes us through the time they have together as they develop a friendship as college roommates and how they set out for the big city to find success as struggling artists. This is again a story of perseverance and passion for their work, a great example of what can happen when people stick to it and stick together. It's easy to lose focus and vision sometimes. You folks have not done that. We appreciate that each and every day we know that you're behind us and helping us stick to it and stick together. Thank you for all you do each and every day for our school and our community.
So I think annually we sit as a board and have described to us sometimes this being a thankless job. I can assure you that none of us feel this is a thankless job. We have the immense opportunity and honor of watching you perform, watching you play instruments, watching you on the athletic fields, coming and experiencing the artwork that's around us. You come and present to us your academic accomplishments. We read about your volunteerism and your commitment to community. That's not thankless. That's very empowering, and I can't appreciate you more. I've now sat on the board for 15 years, and I've had 15 years of that honor of being exposed to what we pull off when we all work together towards creating opportunities and empowering each other and championing each other. So I appreciate the presentation on behalf of the board. We do not feel that this is thankless. You thank us every day by everything that you contribute and your value. So thank you. And then we always invite you to stay on for the evening for the remainder of the meeting because it's really good stuff. But I appreciate that you probably have responsibilities that you need to scoot out for to get your homework done and get prepped for work tomorrow and school tomorrow. So thank you again for coming out and sharing that with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So if you're gonna, what she's trying to say, if you're gonna leave now. Get well, the getting's good, my mom used to say.
Good choices in there.
They were going to the show. But these three go that way, those two go that way. They cross-fed them.
We're going to move along in our meeting, and I believe we are now at new business. And if I could please have a motion to approve the warrants.
So move.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? If I could please have a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion to approve the investment summary?
So moved.
Second. Oh, we don't have to, sorry. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's there for your perusal.
Thank you.
As is the budget status report. If I could please have a motion to approve the tax refund.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? If I could please have a motion to approve tax refund number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments?
How do I get one?
Take day twice and you get one back.
Additional questions or comments?
We'll give you a fraction back.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? If I could please have a motion to approve of the donation.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Thank you.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? If I could have a motion to approve the disposal of items.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Can I have a motion to approve the corrective action plan extra classroom? This is from our audit, correct?
Correct.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? If I could please have a motion to approve the field trip request for the environmental club. So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Can the chaperone ensure 6 hours of sleep?
No.
And I would add the date, they're asking at this today, they're asking that the date be changed from the 10th to the 12th to avoid the conflict with the musical. So they wanted to move it to the 10th to the 12th of month, of the same month.
Do we want to make sure that we motion with the corrected date?
I would, yeah.
If I could please have a motion to approve the field trip request with the altered date?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? If I could please have a motion to approve the earth science field trip request?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I apologize for the preemptive question. I was on the wrong item.
No, you weren't. You did not get 6 hours on that one.
You won't sleep with that one either.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Now we're to the point of our meeting for the public comment, and Mr. Nishak has signed up to speak with us this evening.
We want to make sure that the HTA and all 211 members thanked the board for the continuous work throughout the year. So the best way to thank you is to realize that we could make a survival kit for you. And the survival, oh, that's Emily, we'll leave that here. And the survival kit is very simple. It's some candy, some nuts, some gum, in case you're in a closed session. There's some hand sanitizer and some Tylenol. So, on a serious note, we do appreciate all the work you do, and we work in a very unique district that we do have open communication with the board, with administration, with the teachers, and that goes a long way. Chuck, I removed all the left Twix from yours. I know how you don't like the left. So, all seriousness, thank you very much. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your time, and hopefully you all stick around for a couple more years. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, and Mr. Turk.
I noticed that there wasn't one for the rest of the table.
Is it administrator appreciation? Every day, Rob.
Every day. The gift that keeps on giving, Robert.
Thank you, HDA. Moving on to personnel, if I could please have a motion to approve personnel?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments regarding personnel? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Informational items, Superintendent?
Yes, I've got a couple of them for you. First of all, we have the October report. There's a lot of information in there, but if you have any questions on any of it, please email me, and I will get with the people that can get us the answers, and I'll get that back out to the full board. And then the second is that we have a staff update, OCM BOCE speech teacher at the senior high school.
Thank you, Superintendent. Are there board committee reports?
There are not, but there is a district committee report. The Instructional Leadership Council met earlier.
Yep, we met today at 3:45. Just briefly, we had 3 agenda items. The first one was just discussing department meeting protocols and communication procedures to make sure we're all in the loop as far as, what departments are meeting, when they're meeting, where they're meeting. Selfishly, it's more for me than anything else, so I can attend and be there and be present and try to take in all the information and be the best support I can. The meat of the meeting, the large section was, we looked at 5 district-wide initiatives. And for those of you not familiar with ILC, it's made up of administrators, teacher leaders, and a parent rep. And one of my goals with the group is, to help make their leadership opportunity a little more meaningful, because they are stepping up to the plate to help lead this district. It's not just the administrators leading the district. It's not just the Board of Education. We have great grade level leaders and great curriculum lead teachers and a parent rep who they want to lead. So we're looking at opportunities, where ILC best fits with some of our district initiatives. We looked at the strategic plan and the initiatives embedded in there. We looked at the BIMIS SEL screener and the anticipated SEL curriculum work. We looked at TCI, Therapeutic Crisis and Intervention. We looked at our inclusive schooling initiative, and we also looked at our disproportionality designation. And what it was a collaborative effort on the members' parts to come up with answers to 3 simple questions. Number 1, what role should ILC have in the implementation of these initiatives across the district? What role should our curriculum lead teachers and grade level leaders play individually? And then lastly, what resources are needed if there's a role for ILC in those initiatives? So I gathered all that data via a Google form, and I'm going to be calling over that the next couple of days and putting it out back to ILC so we can come up with an action plan. Because again, it's, leadership is hard work. These are heavy lifts. And we need all the people involved we can, but we really want to highlight our teacher leaders and our administrators and parent reps that serve on this committee, because they're stepping up, and again, we want their work to be meaningful. Just of note, we have a PLC meeting on November 8th and a Student Engagement Task Force on November 7th.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jim.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you disclose who your parent volunteer is?
Miriam.
Okay, and are you looking for more, or is?
Yeah, we could,
Is that
absolutely.
something you would like us to help you recruit?
Last year we had 2 parent reps. This year we're down to 1. So yeah, we absolutely would look for, so if you know of somebody, please have them reach out to me, and I'd love to have
And
them.
excuse me, your student engagement, is that something that would back out to the student body that you're looking for student engagement? Like, do they know that they can join now? Like, I know sometimes we do things and we say it one year and then we don't.
Yeah, so I have the core group from last year that we used, so they were on the invitee list for this first meeting in November, but that, your point's well taken. Maybe they can help recruit some of their classmates as well.
Or that the kids could get an email, that they're welcome to be. I've heard a lot of feedback lately that kids don't know what groups are going on or what clubs they can join and something, that kind of thing. So I'm thinking in this situation, it might be a similar scenario where they just don't even know that their input is welcome.
Is wanted, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Thanks.
Thank you. Board member activities.
An opportunity to attend field hockey games, the season closer in Morrisville, and then the sectional game that it was, there's no way our team should have been in the sectionals. We were grateful, but it was just a fluke of the way it works. But our girls, as always, represented themselves with the highest level of class and stature, but I'd just like to recognize both the girls in Morrisville, Eaton, and the girls in Camden, the same, just really top shelf. And especially in Morrisville, Eaton, the young ladies, they were a stronger team than ours, and they kind of knew it, and they were appropriate. And if you ask our girls, the best part of the whole day was the cupcakes at the end of the game. The Morrisville Eaton girls made cupcakes for our girls. But just really high class, both from the players, but also from the students, from the staff and administrators at the other schools. So I don't think we always hear that side of it.
I got to hang out in the closet at the junior high again. And I'm gonna brag and show before and after pictures one time because it's amazing. We took 4 bags of clothes to Capco, to a donation there. We took 4 bags of clothes to St. Polly's Shed, and the reason we took them is because they're not appropriate for junior high. But we now have a bin for stuff that needs to be washed, and we have an area for incoming stuff, and my public announcement is we need sweatpants. Boys sweatpants. So we actually have kids that stop by the closet now while we're working. They wanna go clothes shopping. We have 0 sweatpants for any of our boys. So we would take anything, and in men's shoes, like all the way up to like a men's 11, like, cause junior high is such a vast size range. So I did a little time in the closet, and I got to be part of the open house over at the elementary, which was awesome. It was a beautiful night, so it's really nice to, there's something so innocent about the little people.
So, Todd, I had a similar experience as our women's soccer team advanced in sectionals. I somehow chose to sit right next to the Central Valley student section. And I felt like I was at home because they had the same level of class that I experienced when I accidentally sit too close to the Homer student section. Not one foul word. There was a really great representation of students that came out to support women's soccer. You don't see that in every district, but that was pretty impressive. And they had the heads and, but no foul language. The cheering was fun and funny. And we also experienced a somewhat lopsided game, but it remained a class act. And actually, I talked to some of the faculty that were, like we have our faculty help supervise those games, that they should be incredibly proud of the turnout they had for the game and how warm and friendly that. It really felt like I was sitting right next, because I find Doug all the time. I'm like, I can't believe our kids, they're so, that they're so, that engaged and can keep it appropriate without their mommy sitting right there next to them. So I want to share that. I had the exact same experience, Erin, in another district. So, and as districts are recovering from what COVID did to our students and that sense of community, to see that kind of feel that rebound this year was pretty special. Upcoming events, Superintendent.
Yes, we have a number of them. The most immediate, we have our fall ball this Friday night at the high school. We have Dracula Saturday evening and Sunday afternoon here at the high school. And then you turn the page quickly to November, area All-State first week of that month, and we'll be with parent-teacher conferences on the 10th of November. So things will move fast and furious. Always exciting things to go see and take part in.
You know what, I want to steal some more of the show. Also, the senior night events that we do are really classy, really classy. I didn't appreciate I have a child that will continue to play soccer, but what that culminating event as it meant for Homer High School and the experiences here. But I've sat as we've watched other kids process through that, but we do a really nice job in recognizing and celebrating our kids' contribution and their participation. And
I just want to add to that, at the volleyball seniors, we not only recognized and celebrated our own students, but our girls delivered a rose to the other team's seniors, which, again, just talk about class. It's all good stuff.
I think with that, we could have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.